Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting a new series where I'll be teaching you how to actually make AI agents work for you, not the other way around. And in this series, we are beginning right from the basics. So let's jump straight into the understanding what the prompt engineering really is. So first question that we have in our mind all of a sudden when we get this topic is what prompt engineering actually is. Okay, so I'll just give you a brief idea before. There is something called AI chatbot, which I'll be referring as LLM. Okay, now this thing gives out something called response, but to get this response, you need to provide him prompt. Okay, now one thing, make sure this response is not always a constant. This thing called a quality. Let's say quality A, quality B, quality C, and so on. Okay, this quality grade, what I name this thing is quality grade. This all aim to the so whatever it is. Okay, now, this quality grade is totally dependent on the prompt you give, and the prompt to give under this AI chatbot or LLM to get a response. This whole thing is governed by this thing, prompt engineering. Okay, because what the prompt engineering is, it's a process of designing clear, structured, and I can say effective prompts. Prompt engineering is a process of designing clear, structured, and effective prompts so that AI understands your intention, gives out accurate and useful output. Okay. Now, you will see this everywhere today that the content creators, developers, marketers, students, and the companies are using AI and the prompt engineering to automate their work at a large scale. If you know how to write good prompts, you will be instantly becoming 10x more productive. Right. Let's begin what today's main content is. Okay. Before we go deeper into the techniques, let's talk about some most important basics as always. Okay, now by basics, what I mean is there are something called clarity. There are three things: clarity, second is structure, third is constraint. Okay, now all these things I'll be explaining with a short example of cooking. You know, today's AI chatbots are capable of cooking as well with the robotics. Okay, now I got something this chatbot. Of course, it's not a chatbot; it's a machine. Let's say. Okay, now its task is to cook. Okay, but what it need to cook, I have to tell him. So let's say I assume something called butter paneer. This gave him the clarity what needs to be made. Okay, clarity, I can say something that when you tell it exactly, what you want, but in a simple and a direct language, just like we talk with our friends. Okay, friends. Structure is to like when we talk with someone experienced, and constraints I can say its limits to explain. Okay, now you got an idea what clarity meant is because I gave him the machine knows its task but doesn't know what to execute. This gave him clarity. Okay. Now the cooking machine knows recipes. These recipes are structured. Structured in the sense it got a checklist. How much water to have? Let's say water needs to be 100 ml in the butter paneer. Paneer needs to be 220 grams, let's say 200 grams or somewhat. It got steps as well. Apart from the ingredients, it got steps. First to add water, then to add veggies, and so on, so and so forth. Okay, this is called structure. What structure helps is the prompt that follows a clear pattern. Okay, like giving context, instructions, and the output format always perform better than the casual prompts. Okay, so your prompt should be structured and clear at the same time. Okay, now what I mean by the constraint in a thing is now I didn't told him number of people for how much people in the butter paneer is required. Either it be some sweet or some spicy or some oily or some salty, whatever. Okay, now there is a thing which I will let you know leading to the inconsistent results. Because if you don't tell the AI what not to do, remember what not to do or what limits to follow, it will make assumptions. And assumptions in the AI world leads to uncertain and inconsistent results. Now, what if I didn't told him how many persons are having this food? It will be assuming, let's say it assumed for the 10 people. What if it's just actually 5 guys? Or what if it's more than 10, 15 guys? Okay. Now he doesn't knew how many spicy to keep, how much sweetness to retain in the veggies table, or how much oil to be used. Now it will be making assumption which can lead to a catastrophic result. So remember, these all things be kept in mind before making a prompt, because your prompt needs to be clear, structured, keeping constraints in mind. Mind that, guys. Okay, this is the most important thing to follow. Next, so let's see how AI understands your prompt. We'll be going to the demonstrations as well. First, let's just complete the, I can say, theoretical part before having some practical handout. Okay. So now, now here's the part most beginners don't know. What does like GPT doesn't know your prompt the way humans do. They don't understand how we are human communicating. They don't understand the prompts that way. They just predict the patterns. As you know, every AI LLM bot is being trained on some data set, trained upon some patterns, and this so-called trained AI LLM bot will be giving you the results based on these patterns and the trained data sets. Okay, now what issue you'll be getting is if you're giving some vague prompts rather than some specific ones. If you give the vague prompts rather than the specific ones, what will happen is you are going to confuse this AI. This AI will get confused and will get hallucinated. Okay. And once it got hallucinated, your result will be uncertain. So, remind it always not to give vague prompts but to give the specific prompts only. What I mean by the specific prompts, I'll just get back to that thing here. I give you a question, an open ended question, let's say. Explain photosynthesis. Okay, now it's open ended question, right? But what if I say you explain photosynthesis in two paragraphs for ninth grade student knowledge and with simple analogies? Rather this only open-ended question, I gave him this as instructions, added instructions, additional instructions, and this additional instructions gave him clarity, structure. What he got is clarity, structure, and context to audience, catering audience, and the again constraints. Like I told him to explain the photosynthesis. This is my primary prompt. Now the additional instructions in two paragraphs. This gave him the clarity of the length. How many words I need to be giving in the output. Ninth grade student knowledge set gave him the or context to the audience, with audience I am having. And when I asked from the simple analogies, it gave him the structure, what structure to follow, what constraints to follow, and what style to follow. And this way, AI delivers something much more closer to what you want in the real life. So let's have a quick hands-on on a small Jupyter notebook that I have here with you guys. So I'll just show you. Today we'll be using uh, Chat GPT's GPT-4 mini model. Okay, I have already generated all the answers before, so to avoid timing to have the computation thing getting done. So what we will be getting first is the importance of the basic concept. Okay, nothing, just we got it. At first we are having the difference between the a basic prompt. Let me just resize it, get something bigger. Okay, yes, we'll be getting difference between the basic prompt and the structured prompt. Okay, now in the basic prompt what I asked for is explain the concept of prompt engineering in a sentence, and I'll just have it copied. I'll just open a notepad. I'll just show you how big difference it made. It what I get. Let me just make it up again bigger. Okay. For basic prompt, what I get is this. Right. And what if I give him a structured prompt? I ask the same thing but in a way, provide a definition of a topic, explain its importance, list three key benefits. And the what topic I gave him? The same, prompt engineering. And now see what I got. If I make it bigger, see the complete differences among ourselves, guys. This is a basic prompt. It just gave me a simple definition. Prompt engineering is a process of designing, refining the input prompts to optimize for the responses generated by AI model, enhancing its performance and relevance for the specific task. But if I ask for the structured prompt, it gave me a definition. and the definition much more precise. It gave me importance of prompt engineering here. It gave me key benefits of the prompt engineering with that two bulleted markdowns, proper format. This is the difference, right? Now, what next we have is this is the difference that I'm explaining you. I'll be giving you this entire Jupyter notebook with you guys in the description box as well. You can have access to it. And now, what the next thing I having is the same thing. It gave me the importance. Now I am showing you the difference. I told you a thing here. We discussed this thing, basic and the advanced prompts, right? Now I'll be showing you one thing. How this quality grade is having a role to play here. Now I have three prompts here. List three applications in healthcare of AI. Explain how AI is revolutionizing healthcare with three specific examples. And at last, most precise. You are a doctor. Describe three ways AI has improved your daily work in the hospital. Same thing to ask, but in the three different ways. And here is the difference. Prompt 1. List three applications of AI in healthcare. Response what I got is just three basic applications. Medical imaging, diagnostics, predictive analytics for patient outcome, personalized medicine, and some more thing. Okay. But when I asked explain how AI is revolutionizing healthcare with three specific examples, it gave me a much detailed answer. Although the topics, the three bullet points are same, but got a much more explained thing. But at that prompt 3, those three bullet points are more detailed now, and they gave me a better idea of the same thing. So this is how the quality grade of a prompt matters to get a better quality grade of a response. It go hand in hand. You give a better prompt, you get a better response. Give a worse prompt, you get a worse prompt. It's that way. Okay. Now, let's see the role of AI and the language models in this. Now I have a prompt here, a code where I am having an input of a statement, and the template is evaluate the following statement for factual accuracy, and if it's incorrect, provide the correct information. Okay, and what I asked for is this: the capital of France is London, which is of course incorrect. And see what evaluation I got. The statement is incorrect. The capital of France is Paris, not London, which is correct, because the role of AI in the language model and the prompt engineering helps to play a crucial role by tailoring the model outputs to specific needs, improving the accuracy of the responses, getting the complex tasks completed, and reducing the biasness and improving the fairness in the AI outputs. Now, next thing we have is how prompt engineering is improving the complex problem solving skills. Again, another code I have is where I am asking him to solve a problem step by step. And the problem is calculate the compound interest on $1,000 invested for 5 years at the annual interest rate of 5% compounded annually. Now, what mind it? I asked him the step by step solution. And here it is. That's why prompt engineering plays a crucial role. It would have given me a straightaway answer, but when I asked him step by step, so it gave me a first formula. Amount is principal times 1 plus rate upon the time into the power time the number of times the number of years, right? And it gave the definition of each and every thing A, P, R, N, and T, and also then defined what the A, R, N, T, and everything is. Now it gave me the step-by-step solution as well, and at the last we got it. The answer is $276.28. So this is a hands-on Jupyter notebook that I'll be sharing with you guys at the description box. Okay, you can have a look, you can have it and study how the fundamentals are much helping you to get a better prompt and getting you expert at the prompt engineering. It's just a part one of the fundamentals. There are more parts of the fundamental concept ahead as well, and I'll be trying to cover the fundamentals, basics, everything from basic to advanced with this series. Okay, now one thing I will be adding before ending this today's session is I can add beginner's mistake. Beginner's mistake. Okay. Yes. Beginner's mistake. You should avoid. Right. What are they? Let's go over the three common mistakes beginners make. First is being too ambiguous. What I mean by this is if an AI has to guess your intention, the output will become unpredictable. The same thing I told you here. The prompt, if I give him the way explain photosynthesis, is very ambiguous. And AI will be assuming whatever in this open-ended question about the audience, about the context, about the structure, about the clarity, everything. But don't be too ambiguous. Second, forgetting constraints. If you want a list, mention it. If you need a specific tone, specify it. If you need a certain length, include that too. And at the third, we have writing long paragraphs instead of structured prompts. Again, all the three things I mentioned above, just to remind you, because this is a key. I can just mark it key to best prompts. Be it any AI model, ChatGPT, Llama, or I can say Google Gemini, Claude, Sonnet, whatever it is. AI works best when your instructions are clean, clear, not cluttered, structured, and you are giving a precise constraints including it. Okay. Now, I will be giving you a prompt template. Let's build our first prompt template for a while. Okay. How? Let's build our prompt template. Okay. Here it is. So, let's say I'll give you a situation. You got some task and you have a specific audience. You need to have a specific tone out of let's say ChatGPT, GPT-4 or Mini, and your output must follow specific structure and around a length. So what your structure would be like? So I will be asking, you are a helpful assistant. Okay. Your task is to, here I'll be typing my objective. Okay. Write for an audience of, let's say, some audience I have. Okay. Use tone. Okay, just use tone that is, I will be providing some tone here. Okay. Your output must follow this structure. I give him a, let's say, 2 3 points. Okay. And I'll be adding, let's say, at the end length, around some length I gave him. Okay. Now I'll be just giving explaining you this entire prompt and its comparison with a basic prompt in a second. Let me write this prompt for you guys. Let's say to the chat GPT. Okay. What I do is I ask him the same thing I just did. You are, let me make the screen bigger. Okay, yes. So I hope it's better. You are a helpful assistant. Your task is to, let me explain, photosynthesis. I might have the wrong spelling, guys, but don't mind that. Write for an audience of 9th class student. Use a tone that is using simple analogies. The same example I took before. Remember, your output must follow this structure. Definition, importance, key applications, length around 10 sentences, 10 lines I say. Okay. Now I'll just correct the words and the let's say grammatical issues for a while. Okay. I ask this thing, and in the meantime I also open another window to ask, explain photosynthesis. Now see the difference. Here I got a proper definition, I got importance and the key applications to the point what I asked for. Right. But here I got photosynthesis is a small definition. In simple terms, what it is, the basic equation, stages, why it's important. Okay. So that is the thing. Your prompt will make a difference for yourself. You might need some other things specific. So you need to mention them, guys, in the prompt. Okay. Now that was all for today. That's the foundation part for today. You know now what prompt engineering somewhat is, why it matters, and how to start using it effectively, right? In the next video, we'll be breaking down the different prompt structures that can drastically improve your output. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll be see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.